Hello my dear friends, you're on the Military Summary channel, and this short video we're going to discuss the most important events that took place during the previous night of the local time. As you know, the Ukrainians during the previous night launched the biggest counter-offensive operation since the beginning of the Battle of Orekhov Bridgehead. The first updates about that operation we start receiving somewhere at 11 p.m. of the local time on the 9th of June, and the Russians were saying that Ukrainians launched massive artillery preparation. They start bombing the Russian positions all over the first line of defense, all over this red line. As we know that the Ukrainians since the beginning of that operation still haven't managed to capture even a first line of defense, but they have already lost significant number of armored vehicles and infantry and air forces as well. And furthermore, the Russians reported that Ukrainians tried make an attempt to mine the road between Rabotine and Novopokrovka, this settlement. So right before the preparation, the Ukrainians wanted to solve all the issues possible, things that might happen, and they tried to reduce the Russians' possibilities to supply and support their forces on the edge of Rabotine defense line. So as I understand, based on information we have, somewhere at 12 a.m. the Ukrainians launched the first attack, and probably that attack took place somewhere in the vicinity of Molotokmachka in the settlement. Furthermore, of course, the Russian sources are saying that those forces were completely defeated during that attack. And for example, at 1 a.m. and 20 minutes, we got the first update from the Russian sources that as a result of fierce fightings with those Ukrainian forces, by that time the Russians managed to destroy at least 3 convoys of Ukrainian forces. From the other side, the other Russian sources reported that somewhere on the flanks of Molotokmachka, the Ukrainians managed to land infantry marines, like stormtroopers. Probably the Ukrainians managed to get the first line of defense somewhere on the flanks of Molotokmachka. And at 1 a.m. 45 minutes, the Ukrainians landed those 200 soldiers, and later the Russians added that as a result of artillery fire, all those forces were destroyed, and probably all those stormtroopers, all that stormtrooper squad was destroyed as well. And probably the Ukrainians were forced to step back, if there were anybody who were able to step back from those positions. So probably the first wave of attack ended somewhere at 3 a.m. of the local time, and exactly at this period of time, from 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. the Ukrainians launched another wave of attack, the second wave of attack. And at that moment, during the second wave of attack, the Ukrainians were trying to attack the Russians on the direction of Novodanilovka, Rabotine. So the first attack were, as I understand, somewhere between the fortifications along the fields in direction of Verbova, and this is the direction where the 200 soldiers were killed. And the second attack was in direction of Rabotine, and that part of clashes took another 3-4 hours. So there was like 2 waves, and each of that waves took around 3-4 hours. And we haven't received any updates we stopped receiving any updates about the second attempt of Ukrainian forces to attack the Russian positions. But somewhere at 7 a.m. of the local time, 7:42 of local time, the Russians reported that every single attack was repelled by the Russian forces, and the Ukrainians reduced their activity on the combat line. So we can say that at 7:42 the entire night storm operation from the Ukrainian side has ended. Also, during the night, the Russians started bombing and shelling the warehouses in military positions of the Ukrainians in Odessa. There were a lot of explosions in that settlement. We started receiving those updates somewhere at 1 a.m. exactly at the hottest point of the first wave of Ukrainian attack. The Ukrainian sources published the results of work of the Ukrainian air defense, and a lot of missiles that were launched by the Ukrainian air defense hit the buildings in that settlement and caused a lot of damage to the civilian infrastructure. Furthermore, somewhere at 9 a.m. of the local time, the Russian sources published and Ukrainian sources confirmed that the Russians attacked the airport in Mirgorod. If you remember, during the previous days, a lot of airplanes like MiG-29, Su-27 were destroyed in the vicinity of Orekhov and in the vicinity of Donetsk front line, so probably the Ukrainians were using those aircrafts from the Mirgorod airport, so probably the Ukrainians accumulated some air forces there and the Russians took a decision to destroy them all. I believe that today we're going to receive some updates about the results of that night attack. And that's it about the situation on the ground. Also today we got another interesting video from 336 separate motorized rifle brigade. That brigade is located on the east of Gulyai-Polye, and they published another video of another attempt of the Ukrainians to attack the Russian positions from that side. And as you can see, based on that video, the Ukrainians were in convoy, in a column, and they were not moving, and at some point the Russians just hit and destroyed the standalone vehicle that was a perfect target for them. So the Ukrainians made a lot of mistake during those counter-offensive operations. They still haven't captured the first line of defense, and the Ukrainian sources are saying that this night there was a call between the authorities, military authorities, Zelensky of Ukraine, with the military authorities of the United States of America, with the head of General Staff Mark Milley, with the head of Army of Europe, NATO Army of Europe. They were discussing the results and the progress of the first counter-offensive operation of the first day. The Ukrainians said that they were completely defeated, that they can't continue this offensive operation without like Patriot systems, without some more air defense systems, without F-16s. The military authorities of the Western countries were very angry, saying that those results that they saw is not allowed, and that they were saying that they will give the Ukrainians everything they need, but with one thing from their side, is that Ukrainians need to continue offensive operation and continue storming the first wall of the Russians' defense line. And that's it for this short video. Military Summary channel reminds to condemn any violence in the world. Thank you for your watching. Subscribe to my channel, put your likes, join my Patreon, and have a good day. Bye bye.